Alright class, so in this lesson I'm going to show you how to multiply rational expressions, and remember that it's a rational expression when you see a division symbol. Okay, you have a numerator and a denominator. Alright, so when we're multiplying rational expressions, they're pretty easy. You just multiply straight across. For example, if you have a over b times c over d, you just multiply a times c divided by b times d, and then you just simplify from there. So the first problem I have here, I have 9m times 3, which is 27m, over 5 times 5, which is 25. And then you look to see if you can reduce it, and looks like there's nothing that'll go into 27 and 25. And you can even look at it in your calculator. Remember, you can go to math, and go numbers, and you're trying to look to reduce this numbers. Yeah, 27 comma 25, you hit enter, and it'll say 1 because, and that means that there's nothing else I'll go into it except for 1, so you can't reduce that. Okay, and then sometimes you will be able to reduce it. So your options are either you can multiply straight across and then reduce, or you can reduce first and then multiply across. Okay, so I like to reduce first because it just like because it's already broken down for you. So for this one, I can cross out the ends. I can cross out the 4 and the 2. 2 goes into 2 once, 2 goes into 4 twice. And looks like that's about it. And then multiply straight across. So I have 1, so let me just rewrite this. You have n cubed times 5 over 6 times 2, and then you just multiply those, so that's 5n cubed over 6 times 2 is 12. And then you can, if you notice, there won't be anything that goes into 5 and 12, so that is my reduced form. Okay, so here's some examples for you to try, and then they get a little complicated, but if you can reduce them by canceling out the same factors, then you can simplify first and then multiply. So 3 goes into 3 once, 3 goes into 9 3 times. And then I can't reduce this, so you have 9 times 3, which is 27, over 1 times 2, which is 2x, and then that's it. Over here, it looks like there's some of these are already factored for you because I see some parentheses. So p minus 8, that gets crossed out. The 3 and the 3 gets crossed out. The 4p squared crossed out. So all you have left is p minus 7. Okay? So these are pretty nice. These are just already factored. Let me do this left column over here. B plus 10, B plus 10, B minus 6, B minus 6. I can't cross out the b's. I can't do that because it's not a factor. It's not written as a factor, right? It has the minus 6 and the minus 5. So with all that, you have to just do b plus pi over b plus 6. Done. This problem, cross this out, p plus 4, and then you have p plus 2. Over here, these get crossed out. 3 goes into 3 once, 3 goes into 9 3 times. So you have 3m squared. Alright? Alright, now in this next lesson, I'm going to show you how do we divide polynomials or divide rational expressions. Okay? So when we're dividing rational expressions, we like to first turn it into a multiplication problem. So we want to first turn it into a multiplication problem. Okay, and then we just do what we did in the last section. We just and then multiply straight across. Let me turn this. It's a little funky. Okay. All right, so to do that, what we're going to do is we're going to keep the first expression the way it is, and then we're going to write 5a cubed over 7, keep it just the way it is, turn the division into multiplication by taking the reciprocal of the second term. Okay? reciprocal of the second term. So you have 6 in the numerator now. And then in the denominator, you have 6a. And then now we can multiply straight across. But before we do that, we're going to reduce this. So 6 gets crossed out. They cancel each other out. There's an a in the denominator, a in the numerator. So you have a squared here. And then the 5 and the 7, I cannot reduce that. So you have 5a squared over 7. Okay? So that's the trick. I'm going to rewrite this problem. I'm going to turn this into multiplication, and then I'm going to do the reciprocal of the second one. So you have 2 in the numerator, and then 10k, k plus 6 in the denominator. So like I'm just going to cross that out. So that's my new problem. And now I'm going to try to reduce this. So the k minus 2 gets crossed out. And I cannot cross these two, but I can reduce this. 2 goes into 2 once, 2 goes into 10 5 times, and I think that's it. So k plus 6 times 1 is just k plus 6 over, and then you have 5k over, is that k plus 6? I don't know, I can't understand my... Well, that is k plus 6. This is a 6 here, which means that I could have crossed these out. Hold on. So let me just rewrite this. So you have 5k plus 6. So which means that this whole thing here, I can cross it out. So you have 1 over, whenever you cross it out and everything is gone in the numerator or the denominator, it just means that it's divided by 1. So you have to put the 1 there. And then that is my answer. Okay. Well, this one's not factored out for me, so I have to first factor everything out, and then we can multiply it. So I'm going to turn it into a multiplication problem by taking the reciprocal of the second one. So you have m squared minus 4m minus 21 in the numerator. And then in the denominator, you have m squared plus m minus 6 in the denominator. Okay? So that's how it works. And then, before I can simplify this, I need to make sure I factor all this out. So all of this, this is from Unit 2 when we learn how to factor. Alright, so this is how do I factor this? Okay, it's not a squared, so we have to just look at 9m minus 6, 9m minus 4, factor out a 9 from here. And this one, this is a trinomial, so you have m minus, so 7 times 4 is 28. Yeah, 7 times 4 right there. And then now I'm going to factor this. m plus minus 27, so that's 3 times 7 equals 27, and then over here m well, let me see, 1 times 6. Okay, so those are all factored. Now we're gonna reduce them. We're going to take out all the same factors. So m minus 4, m minus 4, m minus 7, m minus 7. What else? I think that's it. So you have 9 m plus 3 over m plus 1. I don't see that answer in here. Oh, well, let me show you another way you can do this. So I'm going to erase all this. There were some mistakes. I think I just did that a little too fast. How about we just try the irrational test on this, where you just plug in an irrational number and see which one matches. Okay? Alright. Alright. The next page I have adding and subtracting rational expressions. Okay, so now when we're actually, let me start a new video on that one. Okay, I'm going to end this video.